Ryan students, in today's video we are going to discuss brief about the water resource. Water, some facts related to it and figures. 97% of the earth's water is in the form of ocean, 2% is available in the form of frozen ice, and rest 1% is usable in the form of fresh water only. Now there are multiple uses of water. We can number it like drinking, for drinking purpose, washing, cooking, bathing, gardening, irrigation, etc. Water as renewable resource. 1% of fresh usable water we have is renewable through hydraulic cycle as represented in the diagram shown in the video. As the water gets evaporated due to sun's heat from the ocean's ponds, it forms the cloud, then it precipitates in the form of rain, which again comes back to the ground. So this is a complete cycle. If water is renewable, then the questions are, why we talk about water scarcity? Why should we conserve water? Why water management is important? Reasons of water scarcity. Uneven distribution of water. As you can see from this very map, that the red zones, which are marked as red, have 20 to 50% of water rainfall, where the green marked areas have normal rainfall from 10 to 19%, and the blue marked area have 20 or more percent of water rainfall. Growth of population, certainly with the growth of population, increase in population, the use of water will increase, as in domestic use, for production of food, for other purposes like industries, etc. Commercialization of agriculture. With the expansion of irrigated areas and dry season agriculture, construction of tube wells by farmers led to the fall of groundwater level. With the overuses of carrying capacities of our rivers have led to images like shown in this video. The pollution level of each river in today's date has reached to a dangerous level. Because the proper management of the sewage and the usage of rivers have not yet been implemented properly. Need to conserve and manage water resource, but how is the question of the present time. Archaeologically and historical records show that water management and conservation has been started since from the ancient time. During the time of canals and dams were also constructed. Hydraulic structure in ancient India in the 1st century BC at Shringwarpur, water harvesting system was existed using the flood water from Ganga river. Similarly, during the time of Chandragupta Maurya, dams, lakes were built Irrigation system was found in Kalinga, Nagarjunakonda, Binnar and Kolhapur. In the 11th century, Bhopal Lake was built. In the 14th century, Lithus constructed a tank in Hauz Khas, Delhi. Water harvesting in ancient India and water conservation. The images have been provided in the video to provide an insight that how water harvesting was done in ancient time and how water was conserved. Continuation of a traditional way in modern India by building dams in the most of the rivers basins, about which we had already learnt in the previous video on dams. Dams are the multi-purpose projects traditionally built to impound water and rain harvest that could use later on irrigate agricultural fields. At present, dams are built for multi-purpose usage. Therefore, it is also called multi-purpose projects. But question arises, what are dams? It is a barrier across flowing water that directs the flow, often creating a reservoir, lake or impoundment. That is something which is an artificial monument which is created to obstruct the path of a river and to use the water of that particular river according to our need. Now, dams can be classified as according to structure, intended purpose or height, based on structure and material used. According to the height, dam can be categorized as large, major or alternatively as low dams, medium heights dam and high dams. There are certain few uses of a multi-part dam as electricity generation, flood control, water supply, irrigation, help to promote tourism. After India's independence, dam is considered as one which lead the nation to development and progress. But as every creation has a negative side too, the construction of dam also have certain drawbacks. As you can see in the diagram, we have shown a mountain, river flowing out of the mountain. Then we have created a reservoir, the dam wall and the downstream. As in particular, especially in Allahabad, we can see the river Ganga, which has an enormous water in the mountainous regions, becomes a dry stream when the scorching heats of in summer season, becomes a narrow stream in scorching heat of summers. This is one of the drawbacks which a river faces. Second is the dam so fragments rivers, making difficult for aquatic fauna to migrate, especially from spawning. Degradation of forest and soil due to submergence during the floods. Then the irrigation pattern can have changed. Cropping pattern has changed from subsistence farming to intensive farming, which has resulted in ecological imbalance and salination of the soil. Dams have the soil because whatever the silt that the river brings from the upper coast gets deposited in these dams, which results in the filling up of the dam from the bottom, and thus without carrying much water, containing much water, it gets filled and causes, thus results in floods, because as in the base the dam is being filled by the silt, and so the amount of water it is supposed to carry becomes less. That's why dams which are used to channelize water in the rainy season, they become so flooded that most of the water has to be shredded by the dams. It also causes earthquakes and waterborne diseases and pests and pollution resulting from excessive use of water. Dams have created conflicts among the people who want different use of water available from the projects. Two such examples are the Narmada Bachao Andolan and the Tehri Dam Andolan. Now, we have marked few dams on this map of India. Just to recap the location of the map, dams on the map of India, and to reconnect you with the sequence of dams of India, as well as the conservation water as a resource. Water harvesting is another way to manage water, that is the rainwater, the groundwater, the river water and the flood water. Rainwater harvesting is the accumulation and storage of rainwater for reuse on site rather than allowing it to run off. Rainwater harvesting techniques are more environmental friendly as compared to the multi-purpose river projects. Water harvestment methods. In hills and mountainous regions, people build diversion channels like the gulls and the kulls of the western Himalayas for agriculture. In floodplain, Bengal people built inundation channel to irrigate their field. Rooftop rainwater harvesting was commonly practiced to store drinking water, particularly in Rajasthan. In arid and semi-arid agricultural fields were constructed into rain-fed storage structure that allowed the water to stagnant and moisten the soil, like khadans in Jaisalmer and johads in other parts of Rajasthan. Palar Pani. The rainwater, which is stored in underground tanks, is potable water. It is reliable source of drinking water. It is the main source of water when all the other sources have dried up. It is considered the purest form of drinking water. Tanks or tankas of Rajasthan. It is the source of drinking water cleaned up before the monsoon and protect it from pollution so that water for drinking would be available throughout the year. Bamboo drip irrigation system. In Meghalaya, a 200-year-old system of tapping stream and spring water by using bamboo pipes is prevalent. About 18 to 20 liters of water is transported over hundreds of meters by means of these bamboo pipes. Advantages: increase crop yield with less water, makes you use of the natural and local material, does not need fuel or power, maintains sustainable irrigation system, soil erosion is also controlled, saves water by allowing water to drip slowly directly to the base of the plant. Interesting fact that Tamil Nadu is the first state of India which has made rooftop rainwater harvesting structure compulsory to all the houses across the state. There are legal provisions to punish the defaulters. See, this is an interesting image in which I have tried to focus on the thought that water is precious, which is very much necessary to save our earth and for our survival also. After going through this video, I hope you would have understood the importance of water as a resource. So students, I hope I have been able to make the point clear to you. So now we are ending this chapter. Till then, in our next class, stay home, stay safe.